Marco calling from Albany. I just got passed by a guy on a recumbent e-bike. Pretty sure I've never seen one of those before. You? End transmission.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Alicia Krause is in studio. I don't have her plug sheet, but you tell people where we can read your column and so forth.
Washington Examiner. Check out the Washington Examiner. You can follow me on X and Instagram. I spend more time on Instagram. I haven't convinced you to get on Instagram yet. One of these days.
Yeah, recumbent e-bike is, you're going to get yourself killed because you cannot be seen. You're laying on a mechanic's creeper scooting through traffic and you're low. So I will go with the recumbent e-bike, which that is a way to scoot about town, but you're going to have a nice big flag on it, like a dune buggy.
Like a big old orange flag?
Yeah, like dune buggies have flags. Recumbent bikes often have flags because you can't be seen. You're below the bumper line.
Oh, you're right. Mm-hmm. Those ones are pretty high. I had a moment.
Wait, which ones are pretty
high?
Like
the flags on those bikes tend to be 6 to 8 feet high. I feel like they're really high.
Well, yeah, that's the point of a flag. You don't want it low to the ground.
I have
drag it on the ground. Yeah, you got to have it up so people can see you coming.
I have a question for you. Mm-hmm. Actually, the whole crew.
Flag based?
Kind of, but road etiquette based.
Mm-hmm. All right, I will answer.
Happened to me on the way over here.
Yes.
GPS took me Forest Lawn Drive because there was a little traffic. Mm-hmm. And of course, you're right by Forest Lawn Cemetery in LA, for those who don't know. And a funeral procession starts to go by. Mm-hmm. So me being the good old girl from Oklahoma, I pull to the side and put on my hazard lights. Uh-huh. 2 cars passed me. It's no big deal. And keep driving by the procession, speeding, by the way. I mean, I speed, but not insanely. And I was just like, you assholes. Someone's family, the coffin goes by. Mm-hmm. All of the cars have their lights on. There are 2 police motorcycles escorting them. They all have badges that say funeral.
Yes.
And I didn't keep driving until the last funeral badge went by me.
Pass the procession.
And they were passing me and doing the thing.
Right, because they're all queued up in one lane, and these people went to the next lane and zipped past them.
Yes, and I'm over on the shoulder, with my hazards on, being respectful. Is that just an Oklahoma thing?
Yeah, life is for the living out here, sweetie. I respect that. I think it's a good impulse of what you did.
You don't do that?
I'm trying to think of I've not really encountered a lot of funeral processions, so it's hard to tell. I have people sitting in the right lane, not turning on a red light all the time, and that's something I can get into. But this doesn't happen frequently enough. I would say a couple things. Mm-hmm.
I'm a good person.
You shouldn't pass them. That's a good impulse. Look, anything's a good impulse. If your kid did it, you would go, oh, good.
Yes.
And so that means it's a good thing.
Yes.
And then if your kid's... anything you're talking about, you go, I like to smoke weed. Okay, would you be happy if your 14-year-old smoked weed? And if the answer is no, then maybe it's not good. Mm-hmm. If just all through the eyes of if your kid did this, would you be happy with that? Which is how...
or even your significant other, right? You would judge your husband or your wife if they were zipping around a funeral procession.
Yeah, that's why I always think about P. Diddy's mom going to the trial.
Oh my gosh, that is so messed up, isn't it? And his children are there too?
Can you imagine just sitting there? It's sometimes his shoulder would get so tired from beating on his woman that he would just take a break and pee on her for a while. Then he'd get back to beating on her.
Pay somebody else to pee on her.
And it's no, if I was the mom, I would not attend that. I would not attend to listen to that.
To me, it shows an element of support. Well, everybody remembers the Scott Peterson trial, right?
Yes.
And remember how his parents... and I think his sister, until almost the very end, thought that he was innocent, thought that he didn't murder Lacey and her unborn child, and stood by him.
Yes.
I wonder how... I mean, obviously, everybody has an asshole sibling, it happens, or cousin, or in-law, or something, right? And I don't...
all those
I don't
things.
100% blame a parent of like a bad person. Like it's not 100% the parent's fault.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have somebody like a Scott Peterson or a Diddy, whose mama thinks that they can do no wrong and is willing to sit there and listen to the horrific victim testimonies and act like it's okay and support their son in that way, maybe there's a correlation. Right?
Yeah, she may be the original enabler. Yeah. Not my mom. My mom, I had 2 shows on basic cable. My mom didn't even get basic cable. So she would not be in that. She would not be sitting there in the courthouse supporting her son. All right. Yeah. Funeral procession. I'm with you.
Okay.
I would like to think I would do the right thing and pull over. I agree. There's a couple.
If it was your funeral, would you be looking down from heaven pissed at the idiot in the Tesla that went by me?
No, I would expect nothing more from a Los Angelino behind the wheel of a Tesla. But I will say there's some mitigating circumstances. It depends.
There was no woman in labor.
Right. I'm saying
It was a bro who was vaping.
Yeah, I get it. I think
That was probably this close to being like, I bought this before Elon went crazy bumper sticker. Have you seen those?
I have. I would be with you, and I think you did the right thing.
I also laid into my horn when he passed me.
Oh, the guy passed you?
Asshole.
Really?
Yeah.
You were off to the shoulder?
I was like partially on the shoulder with my hazards on because that's the way my mama raised me.
I gotta say, you're supposed to pull it on over when the emergency vehicle is hauling, the fire truck's hauling down the street. I look at it as more of a bump draft. Like, okay, we're going. Like, I'm not impeding this person.
Way,
I'm staying behind them, and the people are clearing
depending
out.
on the situation, for sure, that can work.
All right. So
I think, Alicia, the overall message is welcome to Los Angeles. Lower your
I've been here for
expectations.
12 years, and I expect more of you guys.
I wanted to tell Brad Meltzer, because his whole thing was on his commencement speech, and I just got into so many discussions with Brad about so many things. I didn't have a chance to bring up the Scott Pelley and the Tim Walz commencement speech, but Brad's commencement speech was inspirational, and now they're becoming funeral dirges. Like, they're full bummers now. And I'm like, you're supposed to motivate these young people to come out into society, not make them want to eat a bullet before they get out to the parking lot. And I hate, I'll tell you why I don't like. I've seen it, speaking of, I did go to a funeral once.
Just once?
Lucky
you'd only.
I went to a funeral once and again, but I'm saying one of the funerals I went to was a very young man who died, 26.
That's hard.
Young. And the woman, who was not his mom, but it was they employed him. A little bit nutty and a bit of a narcissist. And she got up at his funeral and said, she made it about herself. She said, who's going to get me coffee in the morning? It was all about her.
Wow.
But anyone who knows a nutty chick who makes it all about themselves they also know they cannot stop themselves from making, it doesn't matter whether they're at the airport or a funeral home, it's whatever they can say. Like, you can say to them, I'm really bummed out because before I met you for brunch, I had to put my dog down, and then they'll immediately go into putting their dog down and how they felt. That was 4 years ago, but they feel it you're done. We're done with you. It's all right. She couldn't help herself. She made it about herself. But I feel when you're doing the commencement and you're making about politics and your own personal politics, you're making about yourself,
100%.
asswipe. First off, not everyone agrees with you. Not everyone agrees with you. There's a lot of people here who don't agree with you.
But I think that they're in their little bubble,
Yes.
and they think even those that they know don't agree with them, they think that they should, because they think that they know best.
Well,
And so
it's not. Oh, sorry, it's not that they know best. They're righteous, and you're not. They're a good person,
It's
and
a
you're not.
wrong-headed self-righteousness of like,
Yes.
I shouldn't even have to have a conversation with you But I'm going to preach at you now because I think I'm right and you're wrong.
All right. Well, let's see. We'll
Watch it.
We'll look at Scott's first. By the way, next time he's going to report some story on Trump on 60 Minutes. Shall we believe him? I don't. I want to say this. News people, don't get out and tell us who you are. Newspapers, don't endorse a candidate. LA Times endorses Joe Biden. Oh, and there's a bunch of good stories about Joe Biden and a bunch of crappy stories about Trump. As a baseball umpire, don't walk out wearing a Cleveland Indians jersey. Or Red Sox. I don't want to know don't tell me who you root for, because now I'm worried.
Yeah.
You see, I want you to call balls and strikes. I don't want to know who your favorite team is. All right. So, Scott, don't tell us this. This is why no one watches 60 Minutes anymore, because we don't believe you. All right, here it is. Sorry.
But in this moment, this morning,
this is gravitas.
Our sacred rule of law is under attack. Journalism is under attack. Universities are under attack. Freedom of speech is under attack. And insidious fear is reaching through our schools, our businesses, our homes, and into our private thoughts.
I don't know what the fuck this guy's talking about.
To speak.
To speak. But yet you never stop, do you?
America.
Oh. Wait, pause it for a second. You know, it's funny. I was watching this with Drew, and Drew went, "Oh, he's not a reporter. He's an actor." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's what he is. This is his greatest role.
Aren't they all?
Bullshit."
Honestly,
news guy.
Like, if that hadn't been about, Trump allegedly attacking media companies and Harvard and all this stuff, like, give the guy a Bible and he sounds like a tentpole evangelist.
Yeah.
Going into our thoughts.
Yes.
It's like that fear-mongering kind of like, right?
No, it's kind of funny that nobody hates the tentpole evangelist more than this guy or their side, but that's who they are.
Exactly.
They just do it with the environment.
Exactly.
Your children are not going to have air to breathe or clean water to drink.
Yeah.
Fire and brimstone.
You're not going to have NPR to listen to.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, who's going to lie to us if not we get rid of NPR? I think there's a little more. Sorry, it's kind of funny.
Rewrite history with grotesque, false narratives. They can make criminals heroes and heroes criminals.
He's auditioning for Macbeth.
That's right. He's holding a skull. Yes.
Of the words we use to describe
go back
reality.
20 seconds. Let's just see him again.
Criminals. Power can change the definition of the words we use to describe reality. Diversity is now described as illegal.
What?
Equity is to be shunned. Inclusion is a dirty word.
He made that word words 3 syllables.
Word. By the way, it's so funny that he talks about reality, the definition of reality changing when he's the person that will advocate for like men and women's sports.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is also another prime example of accuse the other side of doing what you are doing.
Yes.
100%.
First off, who the hell signs up for this crap? Get this blowhard out of here. Like, somebody throw a folding chair at him.
No, he's at Woke Forest, so
I get it.
welcome
I
there.
actually think I've spoken there before. It might have been pre-COVID, but I feel like I've spoken there for the YAF chapter, and they tried to do all of this stuff to like shut me and other conservative speakers down. Surprise.
People may not know what the YAF chapter is.
Young America's Foundation. Those evil, horrible conservatives that are against
the
DEI.
Southern Poverty Law Group qualifies you as a hate group. Right?
YAF?
Yes.
Really?
Well,
I know they did that with PragerU.
It's so funny. These guys are such... First off, they make this bullshit organization called the Southern Poverty Law Center. So they basically... It's like you going, I'm going to take duct tape and I'm going to write on this duct tape, Grand Wizard of the Universe who knows all, and I'll just put on the door of my dorm room. And then at some point when you're arguing with someone, you go, I talked to the Grand Wizard who knows all. He told me you were wrong, bro. And then that'll be it. I'll just be ripping bong loads in my bathrobe. Southern Poverty Law Centers has got bullshit organization that just magically calls every group they disagree with and every conservative group a hate organization, and then dumb politicians trot it out and they go, this is labeled a hate organization by the Southern so PragerU's a hate organization, so says you. And by the way, everyone's on the right, and it's only people who disagree with them who magically get the designation of hate.
It's typically Christians, like the Family Research Council, remember, well, you probably remember, but I'm old enough to remember when the Family Research Council actually had like a shooting because they were viewed as one of the quote unquote targeted organizations by the Southern Poverty Law Center.
Yeah.
But no, can't talk about that.
I don't
at all.
I think whether it's Southern Poverty Law Center or 60 Minutes or PBS or Rachel Maddow or something, or Jake Tapper, people eventually just go, then we're not listening to these people anymore. Like, we're kind of at that point where, listen.
Just don't listen to anybody.
Listen to me. Listen to me. People were scared to death of Scientology and what they would do to you. Yeah. You're talking to a guy who spoke out against Scientology in 1997 and was threatened and told that my life was going to be destroyed by Scientology and they would make me miserable and maybe hurt me and whatever it was. And I spoke out. Now, sorry, Leah Remini. Everyone thinks you're a hero for speaking out in 2014. This dude was doing it in the 90s and threatened and told what was going to happen. And I did it anyway. And it turned out nobody cared about Scientology. And now Scientology can't threaten people anymore because people go, oh, who cares?
Well, the other thing about Scientology is one of their things is they threaten people who care about you. And we've found out that no one cared about you.
That's right.
They also, I think, care more about like what's within the church. Like they don't want somebody like Aaliyah
what I'm
going
saying
out.
Is there was a fear that if you said anything about Black Lives Matters or anything about COVID or anything about the 2020 election or anything about something, they had all the power, and if you said anything, you were going to be canceled and destroyed. So people were scared.
Yep.
People don't give a shit about Southern Poverty Law Center anymore. It's just a fakakta group that no one listens to.
Southern Poverty should be the band at a dive bar playing Molly Hatchet.
That's right, a Molly Hatchet cover band.
By the way, do they only think that poverty exists in the South?
I don't. They just throw it around. And no one cares about your labels anymore, and you can label PragerU whatever you want. No one cares. Nobody cares. No one's listening. No one cares. Now, the thing that's weird is Scott Pelley doesn't know nobody cares anymore. He doesn't know he's viewed as a retarded old blowhard, an old sock that just needs to be put out to the hamper of life.
Here's my biggest question, though. Does he believe what he's saying? Because if he does, there is a mental health crisis.
Yes, he does. I've talked to these people.
He believes what he's saying, and he believes that what he has to say is very important.
But he also but with these people, the thing I never can wrap my mind around is nothing ever happens and they don't ever consider that. Every single person that was on the news telling us we're going to die of COVID didn't die. They're all alive. And then every single one of them then went from COVID to talk about Hitlerian oppression and being run out in unmarked vans and blah, blah, blah. And nothing ever happens.
Handmaid's Tale.
Nothing ever happens to them. So eventually something's got to happen.
I mean,
or
but
you
when
need to shut up.
When things happen, though, it tends to be their side doing the atrocious thing.
On the other side, it did happen. I remember very clearly there was one political party who pushed you to get an experimental vaccine, who censored what you said on social media, and who many of them, a large part of their party supports the destruction of Israel and the Jewish nation.
Yeah, well, no, they do it.
But
they're
Trump's
not
Hitler.
anti-Jewish. They're just anti-Zionist. That's what they're saying now about this DC murderer.
All right. We got one more because we got Tim Walz.
Oh,
on
God.
there.
You're going to make me watch this?
I like it. I because in my world, I didn't graduate college.
Me
but
either.
I thought you had to play that Carpenter song. We've only just begun to live. White lace and prom. Yeah, I thought you played We Only Just Begun. And then somebody like a Richard Simmons type would come out and try to really get the crowd excited about the future. You know, I didn't know it was going to be old
They're all
men
Debbie Downers
blowhards
now.
just fucking harshing our Mel. All right, let's just play Tim Wells because it's fun.
Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks
Gazpacho.
up off the street.
Modern day cold soup.
He couldn't even say the word.
You like a
right.
vegetarian cold soup who rounds up Jews? They're modern day gazpacho people. Now, there's a tomato based who will round up Hasidic Jews. And then we have a cucumber based gazpacho who will round up some of the Ashkenazi Jews. You know, they don't work on the same Jews. The tomato-based gazpacho does not work on the same thing as a cucumber-based gazpacho. But if you like a summer soup, you like a soup during the summer and chowder's a little too rich for your blood and you need a Jew rounded up, you go with the gazpacho. Okay? Okay.
He can't even say it right.
Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the streets. They're in unmarked vans, wearing masks, being shipped off to foreign torture dungeons. No chance to mount a defense. Not even a chance to kiss a loved one goodbye. Just grabbed up by masked agents, shoved into those vans, and disappeared. To be clear, there's no way for us to know whether they were actually criminals or not, because they refused to give them a trial.
A kiss for luck and we're on our way. Yeah, this modern day gazpacho shows up in unmarked bowl and with ladles out the justice with a side of soda crackers.
So as a mom of 4, I'm in Maycember right now, and our kids' school does oratorical fairs, and I have sat through a kindergarten.
Maycember.
It's like May and December because it's all of the events that happen at the end of the school year.
Oh, you speak in a code that needs to be deciphered on occasion.
Sorry. And
Maycember was in the gazpacho.
and so
That's Play May of the Year in 1983, bro.
Literally,
Maycember.
There's kindergartners, so I've been going to these oratorical fairs for my 5th grader, 1st grader, and kindergartner. Mm-hmm. And they could say that word better. Like,
Gazpacho.
the little kids get up on the stage and they have these hard words to say, like inauguration, everybody screws up.
Inauguration.
Gestapo.
Yeah.
Gestapo.
But they could say that better. And this guy
Said
was
it
a
twice
candidate
wrong.
for vice president of the United States and is a governor of like a major Midwestern state. And he cannot say, it makes it comical. Like it makes the rest of what he's saying, you're right, you tune it out.
But you should see him run a pick 6 under the hood of his international scout.
Yeah, he's running a pick 6. I had a long talk with my girlfriend about gazpacho. And she was like, ugh.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know, you can do it. You can do it right. My grandfather used to make it.
Really?
It was good. There's such a thing. Look, you're talking to a guy who likes lots of beef and barley and junk. You know, I like a stew. Mm-hmm. There is a cold vegetarian soup that is damn good.
I don't think I've ever had one that was good.
It flies in the face of soup because soup is like for a cold day or it's raining outside or whatever. But I am telling you, Laszlo Gorog made gazpacho, and he was a Jew who fled Hungary. But it was good.
It was good.
Yeah, and it was green. It wasn't people.
I've had like a watermelon feta mint one before, but it was like in a little shot glass, and it was more like a
that's an LA
appetizer shot thingy. It wasn't Hungarian.
Look up a traditional gazpacho recipe.
Are they going to come get me in a van with their masks on?
Unmarked van. Yeah, you have to. It's unmarked because if it says ice and rainbow tape on it, when you come pulling into the neighborhood, everyone scatters.
Yeah.
I like the unmarked van.
Yeah.
Wearing masks. I thought you liked masks, puss. Didn't you like masks?
Are we looking up a recipe?
I've been thinking about it a lot lately.
You should try to make it. Any idea if the recipe? Because that's a red. You're saying that his was green though. That's red.
I am telling you what we did. We did the same thing with him. He used to do chicken paprikash, and there's an American version where you just add tomato to everything, and you turn everything into a sloppy Joe. It's bullshit. Chicken paprikash, the sauce is sort of brown gold color. It's not red. It's not tomato based. But every recipe you look up, they try to get you to do the tomato part. He didn't do it that way. 2 pounds of ripe Roma tomatoes. Yeah, this is tomato soup we're talking about here. It starts off with 2 pounds of Roma tomatoes.
That's a lot.
And then 1 small cucumber. This is going to be tomato soup.
It looks like a sauce.
I made chicken tortilla soup last week.
Ooh.
And if I had taken it out of the fridge the next day and put it in a bowl, I could have convinced anyone that it was Gestapo.
Gestapo.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I want green. I don't want the tomato. That's why I yelled no tomato at the beginning of the thing. You find me recipes that's 2 pounds of tomato. You're ruining Laszlo Gorog's legacy.
Sorry, let's get to the Laszlo section of the internet.
Get to the Laszlo section of the internet. All right, go ahead. News. What do you got?
Well, there was a girl fight outside of Barack Obama's home.
Yeah, I heard about that.
But it wasn't over Barack or Michelle. It was 2 Secret Service officers who have now been suspended. Oh, we have the video?
Yeah.
Oh, fun. I just heard the audio. We got some video for this.
Yeah, I heard one showed up late.
And apparently she repeatedly showed up late.
And the other had enough. I have a theory, which is women are fighting. Now, it's on. And women, okay, people don't understand that I know everything. Women do not have the ability to regulate like men have the ability to regulate because we grow up doing rough play. And when you're a
having
kid,
to constantly regulate, you mean?
Constantly regulate. And anyone who's been around a woman, anyone who knows, I will tell you this. It's a simple experiment. Any woman I've ever known, if you're in the kitchen together, let's say I'm making Gestapo with my lovely lady friend. But any guy will tell you this.
Yeah.
And you are, working at the stove or something, you back up and she's not, and you step on her foot, her arm comes flying out. You step on her foot, her arm goes sailing out and whacks you.
Yep.
It's almost like a mechanical toy where you like push on the foot and the arm goes sailing out. You step on the guy's foot, the guy goes, hey, oh, or whatever, but his arm doesn't sail
There's
out.
no instant reaction.
Right, because we regulate. We can regulate. If you're late, but we don't start pushing you or what have you. Women don't grow up in the regulation mode, and then all of a sudden we put them in these weird positions like security guards and stuff, and now it's on.
So apparently one of the ladies radioed, I need a supervisor out here immediately before I whoop this girl's ass. But the Secret Service...
There's a little DEI in here, I'm sure.
The Secret Service... So that's been speculation on X, right? And the Secret Service told Fox News Digital that the individuals involved were suspended from duty, and this matter is a subject of an internal investigation. The Secret Service has a very strict code of conduct, yada, yada. But this is interesting. The spokesperson added this, so I think that there's more to the she was just late thing, right? Mm-hmm. Secret Service continued, quote, given this is a personal matter, we are not in a position to comment further. Personal matter.
Well, we got rid of the Secret Service chick who was like, listen, everybody... If you have a job that's not an important job, and many people have unimportant jobs, just nothing. If you're a dog walker, I don't give a shit. If you give out scoops of ice cream or free samples at the Costco, I don't care. You do whatever you want. But if you have an important job, like airplane pilot,
protecting a former president of the United States,
surgeon, something like of that nature, Secret Service. And your supervisor gets up there and makes speeches about trying to attract as many women as we can and get as many women pushed up to the front of the line and advance as many women. That bitch needs to shut up. This is an important job. We need the best, which can be a woman, Probably not. But it can be
Hey
a
now.
woman, and then you can be the best woman, whatever. But we are not going to shove you up to the front of the line because people could get hurt.
I gotta say, I have been told because in my
Oh,
life,
by the way, or black or Hispanic or anything.
Yeah, I've actually
Or
been
gay.
told by people in classified jobs that women do a lot of security roles well because of our ability to be very attentive and have attention to detail and self-awareness and like a motive and
bust.
maybe even some manipulative factors that we can play. And so
Hold on. You bust all the serial killers because you're into it.
Yeah.
I get that part.
On the podcast and on
You're
YouTube.
on the computer all day
Figuring
running
it out.
down serial killers.
But I'm just saying, no, like professionally at the international, like spycraft, warcraft level, women can be very good at those roles.
I agree.
But also, I don't know, this was a girl fight about something. I got to say to these ladies.
Wait, what was your point?
You got to, I think that you can't assume that this was a DEI thing. Maybe it was.
Well, I can because, here's why I'm going to assume it's a DEI thing.
Okay.
30 years ago, there were 0% women in these roles.
Yeah.
Then you elected people who made proclamations, I want women in these roles, and I'm going to get as many in here as fast as I can. And then when the women act unprofessional or not up to the standards of whatever it is, then we normally will go there because we'll go, well, they got shoved up into a position maybe they shouldn't have been in. We did forget about the Trump ladies.
Oh, I didn't forget about them. I also didn't forget about all the male Secret Service agents that got in trouble for like hiring hookers and doing blow and stuff when they were in
what you
Central
want
America.
them doing, though.
No,
That's
you
their
don't.
job. That's
No,
what you
That's
want.
the secret.
That's why they're better protecting.
They should be let go for letting loose the secret of the
That's
Secret
right.
Service.
Yes.
And I got to say to these ladies, I want the ladies, like as a woman who believes in equality, I want the best, most capable, badass women in that role.
But here's another issue. Trump is 6'3", 250 pounds.
Yeah, so is every Secret Service agent supposed to be 6'5" plus?
Are men bigger than women?
Obviously.
All right.
Women are not small dudes.
Well, use your brain.
But I'm just saying, so then in order to protect a president, are you supposed to be physically larger than that guy? I mean,
Well, it
Barack
would be-
Obama's tall too, isn't he?
It would be helpful if you're laying on him, trying to physically protect him. The more percentage of his surface you could take up,
cover.
the safer he would be. Don't you think?
100%.
All right. Well, thank you.
But I think there's other jobs out there that women could do. And when women like this get into cat fights, it makes other women look bad.
Yeah.
That's what I'm more perturbed about.
Well, but why would you say there are other jobs out there women could do?
Like within the Secret Service, I think that there are jobs. Maybe you're
yes.
not on POTUS's like special team.
I think there's tons of jobs for everybody, including
Ice cream scoopers.
including uniformed, on the ground. But there's things. I do not want you shoved up to the front of that line because you have a supervisor who's announcing this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And by the way, I don't want black Secret Service shoved up to the front of the line either. I just want everybody going through the same whatever. There's, a physical conditioning part of it.
100%.
You need to pass it. If you cannot pass it, then you cannot be, regardless of what you are.
There's a mental issue, conditioning part of it as well, where I'm sure that all these Secret Service agents at the top of their game know how to leave their personal shit at home, know how not to lose their shit if their relief is a half an hour late, and know how to show up at work on time.
Yeah,
so
and
I'd say they're both unqualified.
I think that there's kind of a bro code when you talk about men like self-regulating. Like you might be annoyed at your coworker if he showed up a half hour late for the shift, but you'd be like, dude, what the hell? And he doesn't take offense to it. Where like using the kitchen analogy, if a girl says that to a girl, then it's like, how dare you? We just like automatically feel attacked and then shit hits the fan.
Yeah. All right. One more.
One more? Well, do we want to shit on Los Angeles or do we want to talk about how the end of the world is nigh because the CDC has now stopped recommending a COVID vaccine for most children and pregnant women?
Oh, yeah. Well, pregnant women and kids should have never gotten vaccinated. I don't know. This became very controversial. I included.
It still is, by the way. Vanity Fair is saying that like RFK wants us all to die.
I told, they got that information from the Southern Poverty Law Center. At the time COVID came around and there was all kinds of speculation about the vaccine, I had very elderly parents, and I said my parents should get vaccinated if they'd like because they're elderly. I also have young twins, 14-year-olds probably at the time, who are not going to school because they closed their school. I don't want them being vaccinated because it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
I don't think it's dangerous per se, but maybe it is. But either way, they're healthy, they're thin, and they're young, and they have no pre-existing conditions.
Yep.
So they do not need to be vaccinated. And then Chris and Jim Carolla could get vaccinated. And then as far as myself goes, I'm not old, I'm not young, I'm in decent shape. I don't have pre-existing conditions. I'll figure it out for myself.
Yeah.
There's my controversial stance on vaccinations. And then everyone's like, well, he's an anti-vaxxer. No. But I don't need my kids vaccinated for malaria because they're not going to Africa. They're fine.
Yeah, they're going to be okay.
Right.
Turns out kids were like always going to be okay.
Always. But old people, go ahead and get it.
So the media narrative now is that, well, will you even be able to get a COVID vaccine? Like, is RFK Jr. going to ban them all?
It's always doom and gloom. Nothing ever comes down the pike. And by the way, to all who are Vanity Fair readers, if you guys didn't,
all two of you,
if you didn't lie so much about the vaccine, people would not be so hesitant to take it. You lied so much for so long at such a high level.
Yeah.
And I'll just be charitable. Okay, you didn't lie. You were just wrong about every fucking thing that had to do with the vaccine. Okay? Well, people would be much more likely to listen if you didn't have a track record of being incorrect.
Or also if you had the cognitive ability to admit when you were wrong.
That would help. News with Alicia Krause.
And related to our late friend Charlie Kirk, of course, known from The Office, actor Rainn Wilson said that he has some Hollywood liberal friends that are currently celebrating his assassination.
Well, in a world where you try to be consistent, one should be celebrating the death of evil if one is being consistent.
Yeah.
Or, if somebody said, I had a neighbor who was an old man and I hated the guy's guts, and he rode me and he called Department of Building and Safety and he checked unsanitary living conditions on me, and my house was fine and renovated. Anyway, the whole point is when he died, I didn't shed a tear.
Yeah.
I didn't make posts on Facebook explaining that I was happy that
or saying all the horrible things that he said or ever did.
No, but I was not upset because I kept it pretty consistent. I did not like the guy. He was a bad person in my world. He did bad things to me, and if you then believe that that's who this person is, then it would make sense that you would celebrate the death of that person. I mean, there's sort of extremes,
Does faith component play into it, or does also like a political component? I mean, Don Jr. talked about at the funeral. He was like, there's one side that celebrates death and there's another side that doesn't, and we want to be on the side that doesn't celebrate it.
Well, they don't have a religion. Politics is their religion. So then you have a religion, and everybody who was at the Charlie Kirk Memorial has a religion, and so they're deeply religious. So if the devil died, then they would celebrate. But to the atheists, there are no devils. There's living devils. There's Trump and Kirk and Tucker Carlson, depending on what day it is, and Ben Shapiro, depending on what other day it is. And they just have the people they disagree with, but they don't have God or heaven or the rapture or anything. So this is their religion, which, by the way, is why they paint everything in a sort of religious text, evil.
Yes.
And meaning religious people, like you take all the Charlie Kirk people, the people who filled the stadium and the people who spoke. they don't like a lot of, they don't like Nancy Pelosi. But they don't really throw around the word evil.
Yes.
They just don't like her, and they disagree with the policy and stuff. Because if you're religious, evil...
Like a dumb bee might be the meanest thing they say about her.
Right, because you need to use the word evil for real evil.
Yes.
Because there is actual evil. Having 2 walk-in size refrigerators filled with Haagen-Dazs double fudge does not make you evil.
Getting your hair done during COVID when everybody else was shut down.
Right, but that doesn't make you Stalin. That doesn't make you a person that digs mass graves and things like that. So I think there's a context that religious people have where they go, this is what evil is.
Yes.
And we will save our stuff for what is evil. And the guy who shot Charlie Kirk is evil. So we'll call him evil, and we'll call the ladies from The View dumb bitches. And that's where we'll take it. But
we're not broad stroking everybody on the left that we disagree with as evil.
Well, they claim to be religious, but they're not religious. And so
like Nancy Pelosi, who claims to be Catholic, but is
Nancy
like super
Pelosi,
duper pro-abortion.
Yeah, and Biden and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So they're not. And neither is Hollywood. So then evil gets real blurry for them because they can think that if Hobby Lobby is not giving their female employees birth control, then they're evil. Meanwhile,
and the nuns who also wouldn't do the same thing that the Obama administration wanted to sue are also evil.
Right, but then they forget about the people in parts of Africa that are, Boko Haram or something, who's abducting young school-age girls and killing them. So my thing with evil is I don't like to toss it out that willy-nilly because I feel like it loses some of its impact. You know what I mean? If I call if Nancy Pelosi's evil and mass murders are evil, then one of them's not evil or both of them aren't evil.
And when there is a danger, I'm not going to be that type of person that's like, well, words are dangerous. That's not my vibe. But when the left is consistently saying those things over and over and over again, then it does fudge the lines a bit because it's like, so then somebody should be killed for what they say?
Well,
then
here's an interesting thing, and I'll see if I can be a little bit profound here because I had a thought today I had never thought about.
Sometimes you can be.
It can be. Okay. It's like when they call people racist, they don't believe that person's racist. They just throw stuff out all day, every day.
To try to win an argument that they have no factual evidence for.
They don't have enough dignity to realize that's kind of a horrible thing to say about somebody, and you should choose your words wisely, and this person wasn't that, but they don't care. So it's a dignity thing. But anyway, they call everyone's racist, and again, they don't believe it. So, we do this thing where it's like, oh, you got all these guys calling Trump Hitlerian and a dictator going into the election. Then they win the election and, they're having lunch with him at the White House, and everyone goes, why would you have lunch with Hitler? Because they never believed he was Hitler. That's why they have love with Hitler. But these are been there, done that. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, 70-something-year-olds, 80-something. They've been around the block a zillion times, But
they know they have to kiss the ring.
Yeah, but they're not that corruptible in that they don't think he's Hitlerian. They don't think he's racist. They don't think he's socialist or he's a dictator. They say it, but they don't believe it. Now, here's what I'm getting to. First off, if Chuck Schumer or Nancy Pelosi actually thought Trump was Hitlerian or Hitler, then they should get themselves a briefcase bomb and go visit him in the Oval Office. That's what a patriot would do if you thought that's what it was. They don't think it.
Or actually unseat him in a constitutional manner, maybe create a military coup. There's lots of options.
Yeah, but
But they haven't even pursued that. They did the whole impeachment
so what
thing,
I'm saying is it'd be Project Valkyrie or whatever that Tom Cruise movie was. The whole point is they don't believe it, is what I'm saying. They don't believe it. But, and I don't believe it, and you don't believe it, because we're older, we've been there, and we've done that, and that's fine. But what if I just grew up staring at screens and playing, first shooter video games and on all these dark corners of the web since I was 9, and now I'm 21. Well, then I might believe it. Because I used to say during COVID, they're scaring all the kids so they can crate train the kids, because you got to get hold of that pup young and crate train them early. And you get hold of them early,
then they have to rely on you.
Yes, you can crate train them.
Yep.
And you go, hey, into the crate. And they just go running for the crate. You can't do it to old Adam Carolla. His brain, the cement on the sidewalk of Adam Carolla's brain dried a long time ago, and you can't put your initials in it, bitch.
There's a tree with roots growing up under.
Popped it up. Old woman fell, broke her hip last weekend. City still never got to it. It's been 4 years.
Gum is just pressed into the...
I like when the city puts spray paint on it, where it's like, look, we're not going to fix anything, but we will put some spray paint on it.
Make sure your walker doesn't hit this old broad.
So you can't get to me.
Yep.
I don't believe you that he is Hitler, but if all I did was play video games and sit online and go to deep corners of the web since age 10,
or if
and
you
now
were in
I'm 21.
If you were in the Rainn Wilson, Mark Ruffalo, liberal Hollywood circles, those people ain't 21 that have been sitting on video games. They're in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and they're like calling the shots on the entertainment that the world is seeing.
But they don't believe it either.
Well, okay, so
they don't believe it like do you know moderately rich people live on the hillside of Malibu, but super rich Hollywood people all live along the coast, on the water in Malibu. I mean, you got to think about that stretch of Malibu, Carbon Beach and whatnot, Billionaires Beach. You walk up and down Pacific Coast Highway, people always go, oh, that's Leonardo DiCaprio's place. Like, I literally... a showbiz friend of mine lived next door to Leonardo DiCaprio's. Everything is, that's Barbara Streisand. All the wokest, all the most environmentalists, they're all vying to pay an extra $20 million to get 60 feet closer to the ocean. And although they never stop talking about sea rising. So do they believe it? No, they do not.
Yep.
They do not believe it. And they don't believe Hitler either, but that doesn't mean you can't get dumb 15-year-olds to believe. That doesn't mean you can't get Greta Thunberg to believe it.
Oh, God.
All right, so we'll listen to the clip. Who is this? Mark
Ruffalo? Is Mark Ruffalo's podcast, and Rainn Wilson was on the podcast over the weekend, and this is what he had to say.
With his ideas, shooting someone that we disagree with, even if they're vociferous and loud and out there, is so colossally wrong-headed. I spoke to a couple of, let's say, some liberal friends last night at an event, and they were like, you won't find me shedding any tears. And someone else was like, oh, well, it was a little bit of a kind of a good riddance thing. And it's like, guys, no.
Yeah, I know.
No.
I know.
We cannot think or talk that way.
Not at all.
That is not
it's
okay.
So dangerous, man. I mean, my first thought was, also we had another school shooting.
Yeah. Which totally got buried in the headlines.
Got buried in the headlines. Of course it would, though. And listen, I'm someone who, my brother was murdered. I lost my brother through gun violence, And so this is a real personal topic for me. There's no winning. We'll never win this way. There's no idea that if we cheer on our opponents being hurt or harmed in any way, that we win as a society. And we all lose. Like I know what his family is going through. Like, I understand that on such a personal level. And it's a tragedy that not only the person who is killed experiences, but the entire family and community
All right,
around
hold on
that
a second.
person.
I don't think Mark Ruffalo needs a podcast. This is not a guy who needs a podcast. Like, oh.
But even though I agree with you
Man.
that he doesn't need a podcast, and I disagree with him 99.999% of the time, like his stances on Israel is just utter bullshit. I appreciate him saying this.
Well,
but it's so crazy that this has to be said.
The bar is so goddamn low now that a guy just speaking sense and being halfway
like, we're not
human.
okay with murder. You're not okay with murder. Oh, you're not okay with murder. And then we're cheering him
well,
on.
Now something
like, how
we can
crazy
agree
is
on.
that, right?
Yeah. Anyway, not everyone needs a podcast. Mark doesn't need a podcast.
There's a lot of celebrities that have podcasts, though. Like, there's a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
They don't all need one. There are people who can talk and people who can think, and
Sometimes it's not the same.
If your podcast, if you took an hour-long podcast of his and got rid of the air and the filler and the stuff that didn't need to be said, it could be 9 minutes.
So talk radio thing, when I was a producer, sometimes when you had a fill-in host, they would always request like a ton of guests and a ton of callers.
Right.
And the reason they request a ton of guests and a ton of callers is because they don't feel confident in their ability to fill 3 hours of radio.
Well, which
is actually 2 hours of radio once you take out the commercials and the break, all that stuff.
I talk through the commercials, so for me, it's a full 3 hours, babe. It's a skill, and it's an invisible skill, and people don't get it, and it's reps, and it's everything else, and it's no different than playing the piano or riding a unicycle or archery or something. Like, you've got to practice. Like,
I love how you just named a couple of things that you can do.
Archery, piano.
Unicycle.
No, I named things specifically that I can't do, but I can ride a unicycle. But no one would hand somebody a unicycle and go, off you go.
Yep.
You'd go, I never rode. Come on, hop on.
Do it. Anybody can do it.
You'd go, no, the guy's got to do it for a little while, or piano or archery.
Yep. It's a gift.
Well, no. I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying it's not a gift. I
think it's both.
Well, look.
I think it's totally both. I think that, so I used to work for Hannity, and I used to produce his radio show, and Sean is unique in that he has the ability to do cable TV and a 3-hour radio show. And his original love was radio. You're unique in that you can do stand-up comedy and podcasting. There are people that are kick-ass stand-up comics, but they couldn't do a podcast every day.
Thank you. And I'm not really pushing back against both. I'm saying the reps part of it will make you proficient at it, but you don't get to Sean Hannity household name level without the gift and the reps, back to archery. I could sit and hire an instructor who came to your home every day for an hour, and you could be okay, but you wouldn't be gifted like someone might be gifted, or a race car driver.
Yeah, I'm not going to be an Olympic archer.
Yeah, you could get around the track at a good pace on the car, but you wouldn't necessarily have that instinct, So yeah, reps are important, and we've all been on people's radio shows that just had reps and they didn't have any ability, but the reps were enough to kind of keep the plate spinning. All right, anyway, Mark Ruffalo doesn't need a podcast. Here we go. What's our next story?
Our next story is kind of along the same lines of the importance of free speech. Angelina Jolie said that she doesn't recognize the United States while advocating for free speech at a film, the San Sebastian International Film Festival. I was just there. I saw them setting up for that.
I would say this. Here's one of the few times I could agree with Angelina Jolie.
Yep.
If she would walk through the San Fernando Valley, walk through Sunland, walk through Pacoima, walk through Canoga Park, look at all the signs in Spanish, listen to all the radio shows, see all the garbage and graffiti everywhere, and see everyone selling the dogs on the street and go, I don't recognize this country, I would go, you're right, bitch. I don't either. It looks more like Tijuana to me. But she would never say that. She would just talk about systemic oppression or totalitarian, whatever, but never impacts them.
I think she likes the international vibe. She says, quote, I have to say that I love my country and I don't at this time recognize my country. She told this to people at a press conference, specifically per the Hollywood Reporter on Sunday. I've always lived internationally. My family's international. Of course, I'm sure she's referring to her children who are adopted from, 4 different countries?
I'm guessing.
My life, my worldview is equal and united. Anything, anywhere that divides or limits personal expressions and freedoms for anyone, I think is very dangerous. I think these are such serious times that we have to be careful not to say things so casually. And she said that she was going to be careful about what she said at the press conference, which was really sad. And then she said, but these are very, very heavy times.
She doesn't need a podcast either.
Agree.
I'll decide. I would like to just...
You want a list? Should we? That'd be a fun game.
I want to issue badges like New York City used to do with taxis or liquor permits
like this
out here.
celebrity deserves a podcast. This celebrity does not.
Tell
Let's play
me
that
why
game next time I'm here.
I, the poobah, the grand poobah of podcasters, you convince me why you deserve a podcast, and I will either issue you a badge or not.
I think I just want to toss out names, and then you can be like, yay or nay.
You know what, though? I'm going to be a little more even-handed.
Some people do it well. Some people who are actors and stuff, they obviously like have the relationships. They can get you can get certain celebrities in here. That's interesting conversation that the American audience likes to see, like the behind the curtain, and they do it well. But then others like do not do it well, and they're trying to copycat, and it just doesn't work.
I got one for you.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name, but it's the woman who made the vagina candles. Should she have a podcast?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
God, no.
I'd have to smell the candle and sleep on it.
Right.
Physically on. When I say on it, I mean on the candle.
We know.
I think I was trying. I hope I was being clear.
I got it.
A lot of people think I'm thinking about it when I say sleep on it. I mean actually on that candle.
But not with it.
She's very interesting. She's got.
I can't stand the sound of her voice.
Experience.
She's been there and she's done that. I would listen to her. She has to now come in and impress me before I issue her badge that lets her do podcasting.
You can talk to her about ski accidents and and defeating the legal system.
She hit a guy on the slope. The guy sued her.
She won.
What I'd probably do with her is I'd go, I'm going to issue you a 6-month badge.
Oh.
And we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
And if I don't like what I hear, then you'll get no badge.
Okay.
I will take the badge back. But let's just see how this goes.
All right.
Trial badge. But she could have. That's my whole point. I don't know.
Like she
could be out of this world. I don't want to say she's bad just because I would assume she's bad, but she might be super interesting.
So you'll give her a 6-month badge, but Angelina Jolie, you don't want to hear at all?
Well, she already said she had to be careful what she says.
Yeah, so that's not going to make for an interesting podcast.
That's a strike.
Like you need a little edge.
This might be a softball. Charlize Theron.
I hate Charlize Theron. Hate her. But I'll listen to what she has to say.
Don't you think you already know what she has to say?
Well, see, I think
a lot of these people don't have much to say because they're so used to saying things that have been written by other people.
Charlize Theron, I don't know if you guys are with her, Theron. I don't know if you're there. I file them under the Ilhan Omar heading in that people who live here who hate this country bother me. But people who come here from shitty countries and thrive here who shit on this country bother me to a next level.
I get that.
Right?
Yeah.
And the people especially the people who have experienced all the fruits of this country while...
Like Mom Donnie.
Yes, while escaping someplace. Now, the worse your country... was, and the more you have here, the more I hate you. And she came from South Africa, and she got here. God, Trevor Noah does this too. He comes here from South Africa, and then he talks about what a racist piece of shit this country is. It drives me nuts. I don't want to get into that simple game of why don't you just go back? But I do think that just go fucking back. If your heart's in the Sudan or whatever the fuck it is, then just go enjoy your paradise that you fled from with your guys chasing you with machetes. But okay, she came here. She's a billionaire, has a life of Riley, adopts whomever she wants to adopt, and then goes on tirades explaining to us why there's certain places she won't bring her black kids because of this racist country we're living in, except for she never says the places. And also,
she's never like Mobile, Alabama.
Well, and her kid statistically is going to get shot by a black kid, not by a white supremacist.
If they are in an unsafe neighborhood that BLM has told us shouldn't be policed.
Right. So
and joins a gang.
So, there's Ilhan Omar's at the top because her country was horrible and she's a millionaire now and all she does is shit on this country. But there is plenty of room for anybody. Again,
should Ilhan Omar have a podcast?
No, she shouldn't. Well, first of all, she's not a great speaker.
I'd rather her spend her time on a podcast than her spend time like passing horrible legislation and radicalizing the Democratic Party
just
anymore.
On CNN. Okay. Homegrown sort of.
Homegrown ungratefulness is, I think, more so understandable because you have been, it's like the bourgeois terrorists. Mm-hmm. It's like you're in this little protective bubble and you like to think that you're a quote unquote freedom fighter and you have all of these first world privileges that you think are horrible and awful while you're living off of daddy's trust fund.
Yes.
I can kind of understand the psyche of that. So I agree wholeheartedly. But when it's someone else from another country that's come here and utilized our awesome system to grow themselves and to grow their bank accounts and to grow their fame, then they do that.
Especially if we literally saved your life because you fled here and it's just bash. Those are the worst for me.
Yep.
That's why I hate the worst. All right. What's the next one?
All right. Apparently misogyny knows no gender. Alex Wagner and Senator Joe Manchin discussed Kamala Harris's new book, apparently woke words and government shutdowns on Bill Maher over the weekend. We have a video of this.
No podcast for Alex Wagner, by the way.
You don't think the Republicans would vote for a woman?
I just think misogyny runs deeper and stronger than we like to imagine.
It does. I'm not.
I think the country is ready for a change, Bill. And if it has a good woman and a good strong woman, I think every time I had to negotiate a bill, and I had female senators, I thought a better bill. The compassion they brought to it, the understanding they brought to it was different than what a man thinks. And they had so much more. So maybe
but then
no podcast.
Why are we so far behind most other countries in the world?
I don't know. White women keep giving elections to Donald Trump. So, there's that reality, too. It's not just we're talking about a binary here where it's men and women. That just misogyny knows no gender.
Oh, really?
Ugh.
By the way,
so bad.
So I like Nikki Haley. Probably going to get hit for that in comments. But put up a good female candidate, and I bet you white women in the country that care about national security and our bank accounts not going downhill and schools being better for our children would vote for that woman. But turns out Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton haven't been that. So stop trying to be like, vote for them because of their hoo-ha. How about we vote for the person that we think is going to be best for us, our business, and our families?
Speaking of hoo-ha, I'm going to need one of Paltrow candles ordered up.
For the night.
Sleep on that?
Yep.
Tonight?
Got it.
So get that express ship.
You think you can Amazon Prime it?
I was thinking I spent the day and then the evening with Dave Rubin and Sage Steele. Mm-hmm. And in our world, in the projection world of the Democrats, like gay man, black woman of color.
Unless you're conservative.
But I realized as I met them and we hung out and then went out with their Sage's husband that night and everybody, and I took them out to dinner. I just thought, I never thought about their sexual proclivities or the color of their skin once the entire time because I would just know Sage as Sage.
Yep.
And Dave is Dave. I don't, it makes no never mind. I know it sounds convenient. Guys like me are the guys they claim think about it the most and would never vote for.
Yeah, like you and Trump and the Bible Belt people.
And blah, blah, blah. Yep. I have zero interest. Dave Rubin, the second he starts giving me ideas, then he ceases to be a gay man and he's just a guy with ideas, And I don't know a person, first off, said this a million times, if this is their game, and it is their game, Gavin Newsom is 6'2" and he's white. I'm 6'2" and I'm white. We're approximately the same age. We're both heterosexuals and we're both born and bred in California. And I think he's a sociopathic, imbecile, dangerous nut job. I would never want him coming near the White House. He's dangerous to me because his ideas are so corrupt, but he doesn't even have his own ideas. He's a sociopathic fucking buffoon. And I would much rather have the blackest man I know, Larry Elder, as the governor of California. Why? Because his ideas are better. And I don't know.
By the way, his ideas are better, not just for you, the 6'2" white man from Brentwood, Los Angeles, California, but his ideas are better, we think, and we have the proof to back it up, for every single American, including the minority ones.
Right. So it's so condescending and slimy and just kind of gross to constantly go, we couldn't. Hillary Clinton is a horribly flawed person, and Kamala Harris is wildly flawed. And they're both bad people with bad ideas. I would never
and really
want them
bad
to charge
communicators,
anything.
too.
They're both really bad at getting their message across. Yes. On the other hand,
maybe women aren't misogynistic. We just have really good BS monitors.
I would take Hillary Clinton over Joe Biden. I mean, it'd be close, but I'd take Hillary Clinton over Joe Biden.
Especially after we saw how horrible he was.
But I would take Sage Steele over Mitt Romney. All right, so just knock it off. It's 2025.
Mitt Romney, also a 6'2" white guy. Actually, I don't know if he's that tall. I think he's over 6 feet, though.
He may be. Yeah. All right, we got one more?
We do have one more.
All right.
Okay, Jasmine Crockett. Up there with Ilhan Omar and AOC of ladies that we do not want to have a podcast.
Yeah, well, to be fair to Jasmine, she just lies. I mean, Ilhan believes it, but I think Jasmine just lies. She doesn't care. Whose podcast
I don't know. It's Jonathan Van Ness. He's one of the Queer Eye for the Straight guys.
Oh, okay.
Yep. How do you not know this? So he's one of the Queer Eye for the Straight guys. Do you know the premise of the show?
He's got Kenny G's hair, but maybe his
hair is actually kind of fabulous.
Maybe the G stands for gay.
Well, he is very gay.
Well, then that's Kenny G.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Sometimes he cross dresses.
Okay.
He wears the heels and the dresses.
People's hair bother me a lot, but all right. So,
wait, does my hair bother you today?
No. I am.
What, like, you don't like men with long hair?
Well, it's like almost that guy can't really decide.
I don't like I don't like people with lots of hair and lots of trouble hair.
Trouble hair?
Trouble hair.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was sitting in a lobby of a fancy hotel over the weekend, and a family came in, and the three daughters, probably aged 9 to 13, all just had massive cornrow, just piles of hair. And I just thought, that's a full-time job for all three of you. Like, you're spending an inordinate amount of time
on
dealing with this hair. And, there's 24 hours in the day. I mean, there's only a certain amount, there's a finite amount of time you can spend on things.
But God gave them that hair. God, I don't think, gave Jonathan Van Ness this hair. He's working on this hair. So I think he's spending an inordinate amount of time on his hair to make it look
didn't
this
give
way.
anyone 3-foot-long braids.
No, that's true. But they genetically have different hair, and using the cornrows is the way that they do their hair. That's fine.
I'm saying they spend an inordinate amount of time on their hair, and I think it's a waste of time.
Do you know how much time white women spend on their hair? Other than this one right here? Because I don't fix it ever?
You couldn't spend more time than what these guys were spending on their hair, because that's a lot. Anyway, you disagree. Here we go. Although you don't know what I'm talking about, but anyway.
What ends up having people become criminally impacted really informs so much of what I do legislatively, right? So when people are like, crime is terrible, and yes, it is, right? Because when somebody goes out and commits a crime, they don't typically, say, well, I'm a D or I'm an R or I'm an I. It's not literally it's about, well, how do you fix it? How do you make community safer? And I do think that I'm in a unique situation because I was having the conversations with people that were going out and committing crimes. And so I understood what was kind of pushing them there. And so I do want people to know that just because someone has committed a crime, it doesn't make them a criminal. That is completely different. Being a criminal.
All right, you can pause it here.
Yep.
Dawson's been around long enough to hear me. I've been yelling about this for a decade now. It's not the nut job, crackpot, stupid politician in your studio who's at fault. It's the head nodders. You do say. Like they go, just
what
because
she said was just so profound.
Just because I am a Pisces doesn't mean I act like a Pisces. Yeah. Okay. I hear. I've yelled about it all the time. That was all the idiots on CNN who were like, well, there's horse pace. No one went, hey, you're misunderstanding this point, or there's a polite way to do it. You can go, that sounded confusing.
Yep.
Explain that.
Well, but
I want to hear his again. That's my favorite.
The part where she says, just because someone has committed a crime, it doesn't make them a criminal. That's when he does the
Oh, wow. Powerful. I've never thought about that before.
You want people to know that just because someone has committed a crime, it doesn't make them a criminal. That is completely different.
So hold on.
Sounds like
you're
it's tasting
saying
soup.
Just because I'm a clown and I work at a circus doesn't make me a circus clown? You ready, Dawson? I want some knowing nods, all right? You ready? Just because I'm the dean of students at Colfax Elementary doesn't mean I'm the dean of students at Colfax Elementary. Well, I like that. That went up. That had a question mark to it.
That was a tell me more.
I want a knowing. I want a knowing grunt.
Okay.
I want a knowing grunt. In my world, one death is too many deaths when it comes to death. I dream of a world where everyone has a seat at the table of dignity.
Yeah.
And where no child gets left behind.
Heard that one before.
She began by talking about what she does legislatively. I would argue that you've done the exact same amount legislatively.
Legislative work.
Well, I don't know that she ever goes to work. All I do is see her on TV.
On podcasts.
Shows and podcasts.
And behind a podium talking about Governor Hot Wheels.
And
Governor Hot Wheels. I forgot about that.
Remember that? And then she said she didn't say it. And then there was video of her saying it.
I will,
it's like own up to it.
I will say this. We are living in a world now where videotape of you doing or saying something doesn't mean that much.
Oh my God. My husband and I were talking about this last night, like with conspiracy theories, because of just AI and editing and all the talking heads. And it's like, who can be trusted and who can't? It's real life Manchurian Candidate meets, I don't know, 1984 meets a lot of factors when you could make up something that you and I said and it could go viral. And then once the truth comes out, it's like the New York Times corrections that come out like a week later. And like a bajillion people see the first one, but then only 50,000 people see the second. It's kind of scary.
Well, the scary part is most of the sort of hoaxes or fake news or whatever we had to deal with all throughout COVID and before that, a lot of Russiagate stuff and that kind of stuff. It's all on video. They're self-imposed confusion about fine people on both sides or whatever. There's injecting bleach or something. You can watch the video on your phone.
Yeah.
But they're still moving forward with it. And then my favorite one is when someone is clearly joking, says somebody, or like you take,
like Trump was at the memorial service about hating his enemies, and he like was doing it for the laugh.
No, but
NPR and CNN run with, despite forgiveness from a mostly Christian audience, Donald Trump says he hates his enemies.
Well, the ones I like, yes, I like that one. I like Dictator Day One.
Yes.
Because in the same video, he goes, then I'm going back and I'm just going to do it to drill and get energy independent. It's the most interpretable thing on the planet. So now, I don't know what you call it when you willfully misinterpret things other people say, but that's a bad place to be in.
Dishonest, lack of character, dangerous.
As a journalist, it's not a good default setting.
Journalist.
As I would say.
Well, it seems like a bad day to be Mark Sanchez. Over the weekend, the news broke that Mark Sanchez had been stabbed and he was in the hospital. So thoughts and prayers were flying around on X. But this story now updated from the New York Post. A 69-year-old man who was allegedly assaulted by Mark Sanchez in Indianapolis and then stabbed the former Jets quarterback has been pictured bloody and battered in his hospital bed. The picture's all over social media. It's gross. I don't want to look at it. I don't think you do either, but you've probably seen it.
Of him. Of the
69-year-old man.
Made me think, in the rich man, poor man tradition, I have things that sound good but aren't good, but can be like battered.
Yeah, battered.
Battered shrimp is good and tempura is good, or there's the bad side of battered.
Yep.
So it's not all bad with the battered, but I saw like a small picture on a phone of like him in a hospital bed.
He's got massive facial jaw injury.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he looks like a fish taco, but...
So Sanchez... So here's what I gleaned from this story. Because if you go, what? He got drunk and he blacked out.
Probably blackout stage.
Because people don't understand the difference between pass out and blackout. Blackout is something different than pass out. Blackout is I have experience with a guy who was a friend of mine who would black out.
That's funny. I have experience with a guy who'd black out. His name's Mike Dawson. No, I'm kidding.
Everyone has been shit-faced, and everyone has sort of passed out, and everyone's done shit they don't remember, and so on and so forth. But that's not blacking out. Blacking out is like, I had a friend, went to USC, destroyed the dorm room, took a dump on the coffee table. You basically wake up strapped to a hospital bed.
Right.
They strap you in.
I Chris Farley'd a coffee table in college, and I woke up and my roommate was on the bunk above me, and I said, "Scott, why does my face hurt?"
Right.
And he just started laughing because I blacked out and face planted into the coffee table. That's a blackout. But I was.
Well, wait a second. Is that a blackout or is that a pass out?
It knocked me out.
Well, see, okay, Dawson, I'm going to reboot here.
No.
But you did it volitionally. You were blacked out.
I tripped. Yeah.
Oh, you tripped.
Yeah, I was at the doorway walking to my bed.
But I still don't think this is a blackout.
I don't remember it at all.
Well,
I don't remember anything from that night.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's one thing to get people. A lot of people get fucked up and don't really remember. But what they would remember if they did is you fucking like who ate my pizza? You did, And I don't remember hitting the coffee table with my face or I tripped or whatever. But this is full-fledged crazy activity. Like running around, fighting people, screaming, screaming at everyone. We got to go to Tijuana to get the rest of the boys out. Like this is a full thing. And then at some point the next morning, you don't remember. This is it. I mean, I guess everyone can do a little bit of a version of it, which is you get really fucked up and then you don't really remember. And then you have that thing where you go, I hope I didn't say anything too stupid, or whatever that thing was. But you wouldn't beat the shit out of somebody who was like trying to drop something off or something like that.
This guy was a grease truck driver. He was picking up used grease from a hotel. He apparently needs hearing aids. But he didn't have them in because the noise of his truck would just be miserable to hear.
Right.
So Sanchez apparently approached him. The guy leaned in to hear what Sanchez was trying to tell him. He says he smelled of alcohol and his speech was slurred. And then Sanchez, according to this, who's 6'2", 230 pounds, and 38 years old, hurled the driver against a wall before throwing him to the ground, at which point the driver said he stabbed Mark Sanchez in self-defense. Sanchez is in the hospital in stable condition. He's been charged with battery resulting in bodily injury, unauthorized entry of a motor vehicle, public intoxication, endangering the life of another.
All right, so let me tell you what real blackout is.
Tell me.
I knew a guy, and he had this. Well, it's probably a thing that one in every, 10,000 people get. They get drunk, they go psychotic, they go to a different place, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, no memory of it the next day.
Yeah.
And oftentimes very mild-mannered, regular people, men and women, and then they go to outer space when they get drunk. And like, I went to Tijuana with me and, the usual suspects, my dude friends.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew people who lived in the dorms in San Diego State. So our plan was we're going to go to Tijuana and party, and then we're going to end up back in their dorms, flopped out. And party we did, the usual stuff, lots of drinking. And then when it was time to head back to San Diego, here's how fucked up we were. We had to decide who was the least fucked up who could drive the car.
We've done that.
That was this guy.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that means we weren't in great shape either.
No.
But he drove the car, and we got to the dorms in San Diego, and then we all kind of spread out. You stay with that person, I'll stay with this person. Everyone kind of crashed out, and then this guy got up and he went nuts, and he ran up and down the dorm room halls, and he banged on everyone's door, screaming, we gotta get our boys.
Right.
He wanted to go back to Tijuana to get our boys out.
I remember this.
And he'd already been out, and we were already out, and he just kept going up. And then he grabbed his car keys and he said, "I'm going back to Tijuana because I got to get the boys out."
Oh my God.
And the poor girl he was staying with was wrestling, you can't leave. No. And he went out. She called me and my buddy Chris at 3 a.m. and was like, "You got to get your friend under control. He's out of control. He's running up and down the dorm. He's banging on everyone's doors. He's screaming. We got to go to Tijuana, get the boys out," and stuff like that. And of course, me and Chris were just like, "Yeah, all right." And we just hung up the phone.
What did he say the next day when you told him all about this? Did he?
Well, the next day, he actually spent the night on the street under his car.
Oh, God.
Yeah, because at some point he fled out to go get the boys back from Tijuana, but she had taken his keys, and so he couldn't start his car. So I think he just ended up on the curb with his car, and then at some point he went from blackout to pass out. And see, I think people always conflate blacking out and passing out. He was blacked out, running up and down the halls, yelling about getting our boys from Tijuana, and then eventually he passed out, and that was under his car. So then when I saw him the next day, he'd been sleeping under his car. Not with a bedroll or anything either, just on the street. And then another time I wasn't there for, he went nuts in his dorm room and destroyed his dorm room and took a dump on the coffee table, and so on and so forth. And at that point, he woke up chained to a bed in County USC. The cops will show up,
right.
Cops will get you out,
right.
They'll force you into the hospital, and they'll shackle you.
Holy shit.
To the bed. So that's a guy who blacks out.
Sure.
And Sanchez sounds like he was blacked out, like that guy. He's going to say, "I don't remember a thing. I snapped." And he doesn't. I mean, those guys don't remember a thing. And by the way, that's not his personality. That wasn't his personality at all. He wasn't a troublemaker. He wasn't a fighter. He wasn't any of that stuff. He blacks out and goes nuts. And there's a percentage of those people, and those people cannot drink, because when they get into that state, you're going to get shot by a cop super easily, or shot by anybody, because you can't you're going to get stabbed because this is who you're blacked out. So Sanchez going to say he's blacked out.
So he's going to use some kind of treatment to possibly get a plea deal.
Yeah, but this guy, and listen, I'm guessing if you are removing grease from hotels on a Friday, Saturday night at midnight, you're not rolling in clover. Like, he doesn't have a Maybach parked in his driveway. Right. This dude's going to lawyer up.
Exactly.
And he's going to get some of that NFL money.
He's going to get some money.
Because Sanchez, it wasn't exactly like he was a perennial all-star, but that guy was a first rounder, first couple of rounds. I mean, not rounds, but top 5 pick, NFL bonus. There's cash.
Right.
So that guy is going to get some of that cash. I'll tell you the real winner here.
Who?
That guy's wife. Because she's been married to the guy for like 41 years. He's obviously financially not a lot of upside. Sure. He's 69. He's cleaning out flues or getting grease from whatever. That's a pretty low-paying gig. Not, maybe she plays a scratcher every once in a while or likes to go to the casino and play the slots. But this $7.2 million that comes flowing into her coffers is going to be quite an upgrade for her.
Yeah, big windfall.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of football, Bad Bunny was the host and musical guest, both host and musical guest, I believe, for Saturday Night Live. His third time on Saturday Night Live. He said a bunch of stuff in Spanish.
Oh, let me say this. There's two groups of people. There's a group of people who don't really know who Bad Bunny is. Mm-hmm. And then there's the group of people who say they like Bad Bunny but can't name a song. Mm-hmm. Who, by the way, all you people, I spend my whole life with this. And people go, I like that. And I go, give me 2 songs. And they go, I don't know the songs. I go, all right, just shut up then. Don't say you like them.
Right.
All right. That's Chuck. He likes Bad Bunny. But he doesn't know the song. Well, he knew 2 songs. How many songs How many songs do you know?
3.
3? Okay.
You know 3 Bad Bunny songs and like them.
Not by heart, but
okay.
I'll listen to them.
What are the name of the 3 songs?
I'm drawing a blank.
Okay. Chuck's that guy. Chuck's the guy who, when you go, I don't like Bad Bunny, he goes, I like Bad Bunny. And then you go, name 3 songs, and he goes, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Huge fan, though?
Big fan.
Big fan.
All right. Well, we don't need the video.
To be fair, ask me if I like... Oh, wait. We'll do this. Watch. Let's turn the tables on me.
All right.
Say you like Say you hate Led Zeppelin.
I hate Led Zeppelin.
I love Led Zeppelin.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Great. What, name 2 of their songs?
There's... yeah, I don't know that there's Misty Mountain. There's the Achilles, the Colonel's Last Stand. There's is it Black Velvet? Oh, wait a minute, Gabardine. Is that a material?
Yeah, that's on their 3rd record.
Oh shit, Corduroy. God damn it! Wait, Angora. Is that, what's the one that's like, with a purple alligator in a 16-foot hand? I like Living and Loving.
Love Living.
I like Living and Loving. She's just a woman.
Yeah.
I know that one. So to be fair, right. I could not name 3. Oh, Stairway to Heaven.
There you go. There you go. Probably the only one.
There you go.
That, except for a Whole Lot of Love. They drive that one home.
That's true. Yeah. All right. So Bad Bunny.
So Bad Bunny said a bunch of stuff in Spanish, and then he closed it with, if you didn't understand what I just said, you have 4 months to learn. So
do we have that clip?
Oh, sure. We can watch it.
Yeah. I just saw.
Yeah.
Bad, but he's so. I don't know. Okay, let's play it here. Sorry.
Especialmente todos los latinos.
Woo!
Latinos y las latinas en el mundo entero y aquí en los Estados Unidos, todas las personas que han trabajado para abrir puertas, más que un logro mío, más más que un logro mío, es un logro de todos, demostrando que nuestra huella y nuestra aportación en este país nadie nunca la podrá sacar ni borrar.
That's a lot of words.
That's a lot of Spanish.
And if you didn't understand what I just said, you have 4 months to learn. We have a great...
Carolla understood the English part. All right, so is the NFL, are they like trolling Trump, or like
It
what,
seems like
what
they
is
are.
their plan?
It seems like
or
they
is
are.
it just one of those, let's get the tranny he-she guy with a special Bud Light can and his face on it. No one ever goes, hold on. Just hold on a second, because that might not be good for sales of our beer.
Right.
Like, Bad Bunny.
I think the NFL believes themselves to be uncancelable.
Right. I get it, but they also kind of get that, like, Kaepernick taking a knee is like bad for business.
Right.
So why are they?
They didn't before, though.
I know, but they kind of like, are they? Here's what I'm saying. People will watch football like the guys will butt fucking Brokeback Mountain. Like, I can't quit you, man. I mean, every once in a while I get pissed at the NFL and the stop the hate and the racism in the end zone
Sunday
and all the woke
and
and the black national anthem and stuff. And then I wake up Sunday morning, my hand's shaking, I start scratching my neck real hard, and I go, I can't quit you, man. And I watch the NFL. So that I get. I can't quit you, man part. On the other hand, they really has to see which way the wind has been blowing, like for Cracker Barrel and Bud Light and all these brands.
It strikes me that there is someone or a group of people or a certain membership in NFL decision making that is that ultra left side.
Yeah, there's always the hijacker nut jobs.
Yeah.
Right, but what I'm saying is ultimately you got to sit down and go, what's this guy doing? Well, he's in Puerto Rico right now. What's he doing? Well, he's there because he says he can't have his concerts here because of the ICE is going to raid his concerts. And then you got to go, oh, so this guy's not a Trump fan, right? And then you go, no. And then someone's got to go, I don't know.
Yeah.
What are the Doobie Brothers up to?
Yeah.
Let's
get Michael McDonald out there.
Well, what I'm saying in the corporate America does two things. They go, we would like to provide this, and we'd like to entertain, we'd like to put on a show, and so on and so forth. But mainly, they're like, we don't want to piss people off. Like, we don't want to get into trouble. Like, we're looking for...
That's all they have to do.
Right. That's all they have to do. It's really... Everyone's watching the Super Bowl no matter what.
Right.
Don't give them a reason to not watch the Super Bowl.
Right.
And that reason is just Journey reunites with a bunch of 80s super bands. And they
bring
do
San
a whole,
Francisco bands, have Starship up there.
Yeah, that's right. Just do
Throw
the
Mickey
whole,
Thomas.
That's right.
Have Mickey Thomas do the national anthem and then Starship perform at halftime.
Yeah, just do a bunch. Huey Lewis can perform. It's 80s
it's not,
San Francisco band theme night, that's it.
Let me ask you this, because the NFL is really trying to push the NFL across the world. It's not going to happen.
I think that may be part of it. I think trying to get the world into the NFL.
And I think it's a really stupid thing for them to try to do. It's not going to happen.
Well, Sanchez was the only Latin guy that was in the league, and he's off getting stabbed.
But here's what Kristi Noem said about this. This is funny. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said, "They suck and we'll win, and God bless us, and we'll stand and be proud of ourselves at the end of the day. They won't be able to sleep at night because they don't know what they believe, and they're so weak. We'll fix it."
Well, it'll be one of these things. Here's what'll happen. And this is the time we're living in, where they'll go, look, Bad Bunny will make some sort of statement. He'll make fun of Trump voters or call them deplorables or something. He'll say something. There'll be something. He'll say something in Spanish at a concert or something. They'll grab it. They'll translate it. They'll throw it up. And then they'll get all of Trump world and half this nation agitated, right? And then at some point, the folks on the left, they'll go, what, and they'll start fighting back and they'll push back and then they'll go, why do you have to? And it's like, you didn't need to put a controversial figure at halftime at the Super Bowl. You did it. And then that person said something, and then the same folks that got pissed off at Bud Light are going to say something, and then you want to know why they're saying something. They're saying something because you started this.
They're picking a fight.
Right. They do
not have to do that.
They don't
did
have
it on purpose.
That,
and then
right.
Some people say that we can't blame the NFL. We have to blame, is it Jay-Z's company? I think so. Who's responsible for well then, okay. Let's blame him also.
Fine with that too.
There's enough to go around.
Let me just say this as a guy who watches the NFL and enjoys some music. Mm-hmm. The NFL halftime show should not be an artist or an entity or a band where I sit at home along with millions of others Americans and go, I have no fucking idea what this person does. Like, right. I don't know one song.
Right.
Because if you really think about a concert, like, what is a concert? Well, the concert is you go see Paul McCartney, he plays Beatles songs, he plays Wings songs, and at some point, an hour 28 in, he goes, now something from the new album, and you go, I'm going to get beer. You guys want a beer? Right. Because I want to hear the songs you're familiar with, right? And so what the halftime show it would be a Paul McCartney concert or Prince concert or whoever, distilled down to like 21 minutes. It's every hit packed into this tight little sort of bouillon cube of entertainment, right?
Right.
This is the opposite of that. I'm going to go there and I'm going to turn on the game. I'm going to watch the Super Bowl, and going in, I'm going to go, unless he does Paul McCartney songs, I don't know. I won't know any.
My Love open the door.
Right. I'm going to sit there going, Pete Townsend. Yeah. I'm going to sit there and go, I don't know what this guy's. Now, if the Who's playing, I'm going to go, oh man, I know they're not going to play Squeezebox, but man, I hope they play Squeezebox. Sure. And I'm gonna go, I want something from Quadrophenia.
Sure.
I'm going to start thinking, and then I'm going to hope that they're going to. I'll know every song. Know every song.
One of the prerequisites you're getting at this, the band, whoever plays, should have a greatest hits record.
Yes. And you won't know any of the songs Bad Bunny's going to play unless you're sitting next to Chuck. Because Chuck obviously wrote the Bad Bunny songbook. Yep. I mean, he's an aficionado.
He's got the fan club.
He'll do it in English and in Spanish.
Yes.
God love him.
Yes.
He loves that Bad Bunny. So, no, millions and millions of Americans are going to sit at home having no good fucking idea what Bad Bunny song is going to play. But I predict, let's not forget this, because everything must be ruined and every fight must be had. He'll say something stupid going in, be like 10 days before the Super Bowl. They're going to try to get him. They're going to say, no, we can't have him, after he said, gringos are all retarded or something. He'll say something about the blue-eyed devil or Trump or whatever. And then they're going to go in, and then families are going to get separated and we'll never have. Or you could have just done Journey and we've never had this argument.
Well, let me ask you a question. Are you actually going to watch this halftime show? Now there's a large part of the country apparently that is pulling for an alternative halftime show starring Creed.
Oh, wow.
I would watch Creed.
I am all for the Let's Go Brandon part of life.
Yeah.
And I learned it during God, I think it was that. There is a part of life that's an alternative. The Richard Kim incident at my high school. Richard Kim was this sort of thick, bespectacled Korean guy who carried a briefcase in the 80s and wore your dad's dress shoes and when a Korean guy didn't know Levi's and stuff, And I didn't even know how good his English was, but he was running for class president
Okay.
And nobody knew who he was, and everyone thought he was a weirdo, and he wasn't popular or anything. But they were having the debate, or everybody would get up and have 5 minutes to give their speech in front of the auditorium,
right? Which
was at the.
I did it every year.
Oh yeah,
class president first 3 years of high school.
First 3.
Yeah.
How big was your high school?
I think it was an all boys school. There were 300 in my class, so 1,200.
That's damn impressive, man. That's a big deal. That's impressive. So I never ran for anything. I was anointed class clown, but I never ran for anything. But
I didn't get class clown. I got loudest, and that hurt.
Yeah, that's the most improved of class clown.
But it's also, you just make noise. You know, it's just like, thanks, guys.
But you were president,
freshman, sophomore, and junior class president.
Couldn't pull off the senior year, huh?
No, the guy used my speech against me, and it worked.
Really?
Every year I did a speech. I told a story about some kind of animals, and there was in the end, the first one was a horse race, and this horse that everyone thought was going to win trips right out of the gate, doesn't even finish. They had to shoot the horse. And what I'm saying is, don't be that horse. Get a good start. Elect me as your president. And they did.
So the Richard Kemp. So here's why I'm all for counter. So I say, let's go Brandon. Let's go Brandon. It's just a bunch of people goofing on other people, right? And I'm all for the goof. And I like the message the goof sends. Like, hey, fuck you, Goodell and NFL. What if we all just what if everyone just tuned out, watch a Creed concert? Right. Fuck you. Like, I like it. Richard Kim was... he got up to do a speech. He was awkward. I don't even know how much English he really mastered or whatever. Everyone knew he wasn't like Mr. Popular. And it was in an auditorium. It's in the basketball gymnasium, and I was part of it. And he got up there, and like someone just went up and just yelled like, "We love you, Richard!" And he's like, he's doing like a Nixon peace sign thing, like thank you. And then at some point, I was like, Richard, and everyone's like, Richard, and the place started going nuts, and they were like chanting his name over and over again, like he was a rock star, but he was a dope, No, but it was all ironic,
right?
And then at some point, like they calmed everyone down. And at some point, like Mr. Smith had to take to the microphone and go, "Now listen, there's not going to be any more outbursts. He's going to give his speech." And then he'd like go, "So," and then someone yelled, "I love you, Richard." And then everyone would go, Richard. And he was drinking it all in because it wasn't ironic to him. All he knew is he went from obscurity to the most popular guy in the school. But we just thought it was funny that this Korean guy who carried a briefcase and like wore his dad's shoes and a clip-on tie and stuff would be a rock star. And I don't even know if he won.
I mean, it would be so great if he did, but he probably didn't.
But it was ironic. You can find a picture of Richard Kim from North Hollywood High, like circa 1981 or 1980 or 81, and you'll see this dude. But the point is I like the goof.
Yeah.
I would push hard for everyone just to go watch Creed.
Yeah. I would too. And if they do Creed, I mean, I'm going to watch it. Then my junior year, my speech was, you had this great dog and this dog's dog toy, chew toy. And the dog loved its chew toy and was great. And then they got him a new chew toy, and the dog choked and died. I'm your president, right? It was a total douchebag speech. And then the guy after me, there he is,
Richard Kim.
Yeah, he's a good-looking man right there. Thoughtful.
When I was in junior high, someone ran for class president or whatever, treasurer or whatever it is, and I remember at an auditorium. I know her dad cooked this one up and thought it was gold, and it totally backfired. So she got up there and she goes, "Everybody, get up. Everyone get up. Get up. Get on your feet." And people are like, And she's like, "Come on, get up. Get up." And people are like, huh, why? And she's like, "Go, get up, get up." And everyone's like, "All right." And they got up and they stood there, and she went, if I can get you to stand, I can do, and everyone went, oh, get the fuck out of here. Everyone sat back down, pissed off. And I know her dad cooked that one up and thought it would go over like fucking gangbusters.
But the kids at North Hollywood High were going to go, wow.
That was Walter Reed Junior High. But yes, that was probably in the 8th or 9th grade. But yeah.
Oh, my God.
All right, one more before we bring Karen in.
All right, let's do this one. Kids in New York are subway surfing on top of trains, and they're dying.
What is going on?
We got some video of this. We'll play this B-roll. This is gnarly. Actually, the video we're going to see is not gnarly. It looks like a lot of fun. They're on top of trains, but apparently, most recently, a 15-year-old kid, 2 girls aged 12 and 13. And what is the city of New York or the MTA doing about it? I'll give you one guess.
To blame Whitey.
No.
Put barbed wire on the top of the trains.
There you go. No, they're going to do a study.
Oh, study.
They're going to do a study.
Study about kids who don't fucking have dads in the house, because that's the only study that's going to be worthwhile.
Right.
That's the one study they never do, is the one about how kids with no dads in the house grow up a certain way and become criminals and do a bunch of shit you don't want them to do as a society. But they will never look at that, even though they are interested in systemic problems and how to get to the systemic root of the problem, but they never get to the root of this one.
No.
We are living in
They'll probably say kids love trains. That's what we found out.
They'll do something about needing a music program in the inner city or some bullshit. You know, they're going to need money. They're going to need some more money to fix this. We are living in a weird time, which is we're living in a time of extreme safety and extreme danger simultaneously. So we all grew up somewhere in the middle. Like, everyone rode a bike, no one wore a helmet. Right?
Right.
Everybody ate basically the same thing.
Drank out of a hose.
Everyone's sort of, all the cars were about the same. None of them had, crumple zones or airbags or anything. But it was all just kind of...
They were all Buicks.
It was. We all lived in the middle. And now...
Right, yeah.
There's kids, they're putting on helmets to walk out the front door. Every car has a crumple zone. The kid's got a peanut allergy. He's got a foodborne allergy. He's just sensitive to this. We are wrapping some kids in bubble wrap, and the other ones are like, he was 11, he got shot because he was sitting out front of his house. And he lives in a place where people shoot people and run. Like weird, extreme, dangerous sports. Like, how'd that kid die? Well, he walked up to the top of the 6th Street Bridge on one of those arches and was taking pictures. Or, what happened to your son? Oh, they did a street takeover and a guy was in a Dodge and he was doing donuts. And my son was out there trying to touch the cars that went by. Oh, really? Because my son is dipped in Purell, wrapped in bubble wrap, and has 3 helmets and a condom on right now. and I'm raising him in a root cellar with a fortified door. And he's only can eat. By the way, he can't drink water out of the sink. It's all got to be mountain water from a bottle and triple filtered.
There's almost no middle ground either.
No, we're going to have a bunch of triple filtered water helmet wearing. They're going to invent a helmet for drinking water.
Right.
Or it's going to be 2:30 in the morning on a Wednesday night, and your kid's going to be out in the middle of Hoover and Alvarado dodging a Dodge Demon that's coming around the fucking corner because he's trying to film it and get some likes, and you don't even know he's out of his bedroom.
Right.
Those are choices. We either have a bouncy castle or Thunderdome.
Wow.
Oh, man.
That's a good place to leave it.
Powerful riff.